Welcome, everybody. I've got Andy, and we are here to talk about a random game on Kickstarter that has intrigued both of us. We know there's lots of new CCGs on Kickstarter, and one came across us, notably Wonder of the First or Wonders of the First. So we are here in 5 minutes to give a smash or pass. So this thumbs up or thumbs down. So let's get into this game. What is Wonders of the First? So I have the Kickstarter picked up here. It looks like it's going to get backed. It has almost $1 million. Is this going to be a good game, Andy?
Well, the thing that really intrigues me about this game, beyond the collectibility stuff, which we might get into, is the lead designer on it is Brian Tinsman, who, if you know anything about Magic, he was the lead designer on quite a number of some of my favorite sets: Rise of the Eldrazi, Plane Chase, Time Spiral. And he worked on like a bunch of sets in that kind of like, I guess it's now the Bronze Age of Magic, but for me, it's kind of like the Golden Age when I was like super into competitive Magic, which is like Time Spiral block, Ravnica block through like Shards of Alara era Magic. And he did a bunch of great designs there. So, I'm pretty interested to see what they've come up with. There's a print and play for it. I read through the rules. It feels very much like a Magic clone, which, I mean, at this point in the history of CCGs, what isn't a Magic clone? So you can just kind of take that or leave that. The opposite side of it's just a Magic clone is, well, so is Lorcana and Star Wars Unlimited. So why would I play this over just playing a different Magic clone with an IP that I actually care about? I like the collectibility stuff. They're not doing any type of reprints on cards. So it is what it is, which, there's a bunch of variations of stuff. Honestly, I think the art looks cool. I know it's all AI art, and that's a very polarizing subject to a lot of people. Personally, I like AI art. I do stuff in Midjourney all the time, so I have no problem with AI art, but I understand if people are like, yeah, but they stole from all the artists in the entirety of human history to create this. Okay, cool, I got it. I understand the argument. So yeah, I mean, I think the game looks kind of cool. I don't know that it's going to really ever take off as like the next big game. To be honest with you, I think if you back it and you want to play it, it's probably a fine game to play. If you're just looking for something, I think if I'm going to look at this, I'm going to treat it more like a board game and be like, yeah, I'll get, a few starter decks that I can put together, sleeve up, and we can play it and probably have a good time. And that if I'm just looking at it from that perspective, then yeah, it looks like a pretty cool board game that's played out by cards. If I'm looking at it as like, oh, this is going to be the next Flesh and Blood or Sorcery or Alpha Clash or something that, well, Flesh and Blood didn't come off of Kickstarter, but Sorcery and Alpha Clash coming off Kickstarter, like, nah, I don't think this game's going to really hit there. But I'm intrigued by it.
So let me provide what makes me more of a skeptic on this. I think there's a little bit too much reliance on sort of the crypto NFT. Like right now, you can buy NFTs of the serialized cards, and of course, NFTs are, in my opinion, fake. But
Agreed.
I also think the AI art thing is fine, but I think it opens them up to possible trademark disputes, which frankly, this small of a game, maybe it doesn't really matter. And at that point, it's kind of moot. I will say I do like the card back a lot. Those cards could like that is a wild card back, and I'm into it. I'm kind of intrigued. I can't decide. I'm sitting on the fence here. There seems to be like possibilities that this is a cash grab and that like, you're never going to get product. And there's been some stuff on the internet how this company is like kind of fake. And I don't know enough. I'm not sitting here with secret knowledge, but
yeah, I imagine that they'll fulfill the Kickstarter. Like, I don't really have a doubt that they wouldn't fulfill it.
but maybe late.
It'll probably, like most Kickstarters, they're saying it's going to release in November. I'm going to guess November to March of next year, you'll get your stuff. I think if you look at it as this is going to be a cool board game, all right, sure, I'm into it. If you're looking at it as I'm going to, get rich off of getting an NFT of a serialized one of one version of a card,
Of the Fall Wind, or the Umbra thing.
yeah, I'm not into it for that. If you are into it for that, to be honest, I think there's just better investment opportunities in the world.
I 100% agree. So we are over 5 minutes, Andy. So are you a pass on this, or are you going to pre-order something?
I might look at getting a starter deck or two and playing it. I printed out the print and play version. I don't really have anybody to play with, so for me, it's more of like a collecting thing. Like I think these will look good in a binder, and that will probably be my determination on whether or not I want to do anything with it. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'm like teetering between a thumbs up and sideways.
I think I am a thumbs down. I just want to have enough games to play right now, and I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I also think that with only 1,500 backers, if you're doing all this hyper collectability stuff, serialized cards, all art, is everyone going to end up with serialized cards? There's only 1,500 people as your user base. And yeah, maybe that's going to double. Some of these are distributors. Maybe it's 10,000, but really the approach of having serialized cards and the hyper collectability piece is when you have 1 million players, right? Or 100,000 players, but who's going to want to collect a serialized card if you only have 10,000? I feel like that hyper collectability element should be released once you have a collector base. You don't start collectors and then add in players. It seems like there's some interesting mechanics here. It seems like the game maybe has some good fundamentals, but I'm going to watch this one. I don't think I'm going to back it in the next 3 days. So I have a pass. Andy, final thoughts here?
They said there's not going to be any online play, so it's all going to be in-person play, which if you have 1,500 people, I mean, that's less than the amount of people that showed up to the Lorcana Challenge in Atlanta this past weekend by a few hundred people. And this would be assuming everybody that backed this decides they want to play it. I don't really think you're going to find a community. This looks like it's a collector's item only. So.
Which the thing about collector's items is I don't collect stuff that's usually not attached to some IP that I understand or personally like. And I don't know if I'm going to get excited about the Helothrops here, although I do actually like the art. Props to.
All right, looks pretty cool.
All right. That's all the time we have today. We are 3 minutes over 5. So I lied, but it happens. Hopefully this is informational for folks interested in getting into this. Make your own informed decisions, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right.